good behavior or providing a stable home or something is some difficulty in the home, when the kids are acting up, you can pretty much trace that back to the parents.
Yes, ma'am. I
And
understand that part. I have 6 kids and he's the last one. So it just end up
well,
and it's like I ain't show him nothing like I don't smoke and drink around him, but
ma'am, you on probation for battery, family violence. You simple battery right now. So let's think about what we're saying before we say it. And the next person is Johnson, Talicia, Michelle. Come on up.
He's up, Your Honor.
All right. So Miss Talicia Michelle Johnson, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Talicia Michelle Johnson, 2021 CR 06097. You were before this court on April 8th of 2024 for simple battery. You have 3 months and 20 days remaining. It says you failed to comply with counseling. You have not presented proof of completing an anger management program, and that you're $700 in arrears. So, Ms. Johnson, why can't we get the anger management program done?
Actually, Your Honor, if I may, for a second, she actually has, before the revocation, she has shown proof of completing anger management.
Okay, you're gonna have to speak up a little bit for me, Mr. Carmichael.
My apologies. I said at the time she didn't complete anger management, but before her revocation, she showed proof of completing it.
All right. Miss Miss Johnson, are you working currently?
No, ma'am. I actually lost 2 jobs in like the last 6 months due to my son. He's 14. He's been in and out of juvenile.
Okay.
I lost my home as well too.
Are you seeking family counseling for you and your son?
Yes, ma'am. He just got on probation last month.
Okay, but what I'm saying is you and him counseling together as a family.
No, ma'am, not yet. Because I need a job. So
Okay, but see if the juvenile court will set you all up with a counseling program. Because sometimes they can do those with either low cost, no cost, income sensitive. But I'm gonna just tell you, I have this theory that when the kids are acting up, it's usually something going on with the parents. If the parent is not showing the kid a good behavior or providing a stable home or something is some difficulty in the home, when the kids are acting up, you can pretty much trace that back to the parents.
yes, ma'am, I understand that part. I have 6 kids and he's the last one. So it just
Well,
and it's like I ain't show him nothing like I don't smoke and drink around him, but
ma'am, you on probation for battery, family violence. You simple battery right now. So let's think about what we're saying before we say it. What I'm saying to you is, even in a situation where if you're a single mom, you're a single mom, right? And you got 6 kids, right? Okay, so sometimes it can be as little as, or what we think of as little as, you got to split your attention between 5 other kids, trying to make a way for 5 kids, trying to make a home for 5 kids, and he's the youngest. So he may just feel like he ain't never get no attention. What I tell people a lot of times is, folk will have babies back to back to back, but what they don't understand is that baby needs that attention, like that first 2-3 years, that they need to feel like they're the only thing that you care about. I hate to say it, but babies are selfish. And when you have babies back to back to back, a lot of times you're so busy trying to make a way that they get lost in the shuffle. And so whatever concerns or issues they have, they turn to different things to get attention. My son was at school, and this kid was picking on him, a kid who he had no trouble with before. And I started thinking about it. And I talked to my son and I said, listen, I said, something obviously has changed in his life that's causing him to seek attention. And even negative attention is getting him the attention. Well, as it turns out, the kid, there was a new guy in the home. His mom had had a new baby. So he's having to deal with a new parent figure and a new child who's getting the attention that he was used to getting. And so when you think about that, things turned around real quickly. I mean, like before a month passed, he and my son were back to being friends because I understood what the issue was. And once my son understood, then he could be a little bit more patient with the kid. You know? So what I'm saying to you is a lot of times we just think kids are supposed to self-regulate, but they need us and they need us to be stable. So when I say to you, if he's involved in the juvenile program, they have a lot more counseling programs. They have a lot more programs for family stability and family unification, but you got to ask for it. And those judges over there are amazing. I know every one of them, but you got to ask them. And what I'm saying to you is don't just assume he's a bad kid. You know this kid, but assume that maybe there's some issues that y'all need to talk about that he doesn't feel comfortable telling you. And so he's turning to get your attention in other ways. You see what I'm saying? So you got to think about how you're living and how you're splitting your time and your attention, and then think about what he's seeing. You may not smoke or drink around him, but what else is he missing out on?
I show him love.
Just saying, think about it, talk to him and tell him, look, mama ain't perfect, but let's sit down and figure out why you're seeking attention in these negative ways. Okay? All right. So I'm going to, Mr. Carmichael, she's completed the anger management. What is your recommendation, sir?
Give me 1 second. So. Your Honor, you ready?
Yes.
All right, so given her fine and that she's currently unemployed at the moment, I was wondering if you'd be able to waive the fines. If not, do 20 hours of community service. She still has 3 months remaining, and I believe she can complete it within that time period.
I'm gonna waive the fines and fees, and this is why. I want you to focus on your son. Any counseling that you do with your son, that will be equivalent to you paying the fines and fee. So if you get into counseling with your son and you tell Mr. Carmichael, then I'll waive the fines and fees. All right? So call them or seek them out. Don't wait for the next appointment with juvenile court, but call and ask if you can get into a counseling program or a family unification program, because they got all kinds of stuff over at juvenile court. They have been very proactive in completing programs or setting up programs, things that we don't have. Okay.
They gave me some opportunities. I had just turned it down due to the fact of my living situation. But I was gonna do counseling. I just wasn't gonna do it right now.
Okay, well, I need you to do it right now. Okay. So I'm gonna put in here that family counseling through the juvenile court programs shall count towards community service.
Okay.
Because we don't have long with these kids. We got a short amount of time. We have them, and before we know it, they're growing. And so we don't have a lot of time to get them on the right path. And if you don't want to see your son coming through those doors in front of me, then you gotta take those reins now. Okay?
Ma'am.
All right. So yeah, you can't turn that down. I know your living situation may not be what you want it to be, but that's paramount. All right. Okay, go get that done, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.